couple of weeks ago I went to the cinema and I saw that new movie Shadow in the Cloud. It had terrible, awful, poor reviews, but I saw the trailer and I thought it looks damn cool. And I did, I really enjoyed it. I think heaps could be better about it. It's an awesome concept that the movie didn't entirely utilize, so there's more in that great concept. But I had a great time, thought it was really fun. And so I've seen how it's one of these movies that basically everybody, critics and audiences alike, are just kind of dumping on. No one likes it. Which is, I can kind of see why this has become one of those movies. It's made for pretty cheap, I think. There's some, you know, slightly dodgy green screen in there, if you care about that. And it just got me thinking about all the other movies like this that I have such a fondness for, which so many people out there, most people out there, don't like. And it's got me thinking, is there something wrong with me for liking these movies? Spoiler for the video, I don't think there is. I mean, there's other things wrong with me, but this isn't one of them. I think it's fine that I like these movies, and good in fact, and I'm going to say why.
Racing has nothing to do with cars or drivers. You ready to put away your toys and grow up? Are you ready to become a real race car driver?
Obviously, I'm going off the premise that there is such a thing as a bad movie, which is debatable, but I'm calling bad movies ones that are pretty much universally disliked by audiences and critics alike.
Come.
So when I was watching Shadow in the Cloud and having a great old time, someone did walk out during the movie. And that could have been for any reason, you know. You never really get to know why people walk out and never come back. And there's plenty of valid reasons. Maybe they left their hair straightener on at home and they had to go and turn it off, you know, which would be a very serious thing. I can just imagine a hair straightener on fire, you know, and then it sets fire to your hair and then, you know, disaster everywhere. But if you're leaving the cinema during a movie just because you don't like the movie, I can't quite understand that personally. I mean, Justice League I found very deflating. I was not enjoying that at all. I was almost as bored as Ben Affleck looked. But I still wasn't going to walk out of there. No way, Jose. One reason for this is just the monetary reason. I mean, I'm paid whatever ridiculous amount the cinema tries to get you to pay to see a movie these days. So I'm going to sit there and get my money's worth, whatever my money's worth is worth. You see, I'm a guy who would spend, and does spend often, many hours online just working out how to use this one coupon to get $2 off an eBay purchase of some kind of plastic pen thing that isn't even a pen, that I don't want, that does nothing, just because there's this $2 coupon off, and if I use that plus this other coupon, then I get it for free, and then I'll sit it somewhere in my cupboard until I can try and get rid of it. But all the savings I got were immense, so it's worth it. So that's nothing new though. I'm a bit weird. We've already spent a couple hundred YouTube videos exploring that concept. What I'm saying is, I think to get me to walk out of the cinema during a movie, it would have to be far more than a creative or technical disaster. It would have to be somehow morally repugnant. There are movies that like glorify violence and stuff in pretty ugly ways that still have things to like about their ideas, you know? The sheer number of people it takes to make a film has probably proved a great barrier stopping the production of many films that wouldn't be very acceptable. So I might have made a point there, I don't know, or could have just been rambling, up to you. Watching films at home though, totally different situation. If you know, stop a movie halfway through when you're just watching on Netflix at home, whatevs. I mean, I don't do that either because I respect the movie too much, because I'm just a really respectful person. And you're not. I'm kidding. I mean, I do have a lot of respect for all the blood, sweat and tears that goes into every movie, and you don't. I'm kidding, again. I mean, I know what respect is, and you don't. I'm kidding, still. I mean, I'm a good person, and you're not. I guess I'm thinking these days there's so much emphasis put on consensus, particularly online. So everybody's got to decide what we think about a movie and then think the same thing. And there's just such a narrow, the opposite of broad, a narrow scope for what a good film can be. And really, we got to remember, film can be anything. So I think limited expectations on the audience's behalf is the reason that many films go underrated. There's just so much nuance you could miss if you're constantly kind of judging a film is it good, is it bad? I just think about like Paul Verhoeven's films, Starship Troopers. It uses all these tropes and trappings of kind of bad films, in a way, bad with the quotations, in terms of some of its cheesiness and hamminess, but of course it's using them so deliberately. Everyone's allowed to dislike things, of course, and I don't get upset about it anymore. I maybe got more upset in the past if someone criticized a film that I liked, and I'd be like, how dare you? But now I'm just a little bit like, all I feel, well, firstly, I'm not too bothered because I trust in the experience I had. I believe myself when I remember what joy or awe or wonder I got out of my experience with the film. And then I still can't help but feel just a tiny tinsy bit of sadness that that person who didn't like the film didn't get to see what I saw. And that is sad, because there are all these films that are either dismissed or have terrible reviews that I think just have all these wonderful moments.
Why don't you tell me why I should keep driving?
That's for you to figure out. I just hope when you do, that I'm there to see it.
You have to wake up! Alex, can you hear me? These men are here to kill us! They're here to kill us, for Christ's sake!
You have no idea how far I'll go.
You have no idea how far I'll go!
I create life! And I destroy it.
It's death, boy. Murmuring to you. It's where we end. Most of us.
Montage! You have no honor.
Though I do think The Last Airbender would have been better with no dialogue. Just make it a silent film, M. Night. Be great. And so, films can be technically bad. Yeah. They can have terrible, cheap-looking green screen. But is that really going to take you out of the movie? Don't let it, please. Is your imagination stopped working? This is a movie. It's fake. It's all fake. Every single one of them. That's fictional, not those documentaries. Some of them. Some of them are fake. Lots of them are fake. I've gone off script. And that is a thing, I think. I think collectively we've lost a little bit of our imagination power. We've probably watched too many $200 million blockbusters that just have pretty immaculate CGI. But I think that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Because I don't think it should matter how much money was spent on a green screen setup that's immaculate. It's more important what the movie's about, the story, the characters, the bloody sense of aren't movies amazing? So here's the point, in case I haven't been making a point so far. I'm gonna make a point now. I think it's totally fine that I, and maybe you, I know I've insulted you a lot in this video, but maybe you're on my side. I don't know who you are, where you are, what you are. Back on script. It's absolutely fine that we like bad movies because it gives us a broader pool of potential inspiration. Why just like good movies when you can like all movies? Maybe it's like being bisexual. Everyone's an option. But don't follow that analogy too far. I don't think it holds up. Focusing on the good things in a bad movie also just means you're a better listener, a better reader, a better audience member. You can focus on the artist's intentions because, of course, no filmmaker sets out to make a bad movie. And also, liking bad movies just means you're unique and cool. Oh, I should know. I'm unique. So I've tried briefly to play devil's advocate and think of some reasons that it's good to dislike bad movies but I can't really think of any convincing one. Sure, you could say it's a sign of having high quality standards, but again, unless there are concepts in the film that you disagree with, or you're a production quality elitist, or you can't tell the difference between fiction and reality, so you can't stomach plot holes, I can't think of any good reasons. The way you treat movies is the way you treat people, so if you hate on movies, you hate people, all people. I've gone too far again. Movies are imperfect collections of thoughts and feelings, and my goal, personally, is to be open to them all equally, whether they're big or small, round or square, rich or cheap, smooth or crunchy. Namaste.